So when men say they want fit, feminine, and friendly, why do you think so many women push back on that? I don't think that's a lot to ask.
Um, I think most women may not necessarily fit all three or four. Now, if we add freaky, typically you probably have three out of the four, four out of, and the one that you're going to struggle with the most is the one that you're going to have a problem with.
Hmm?
I think went over my head.
That did. I have no clue what you just
I'm
said.
saying, I think the pushback
What?
is, no, what I'm saying is I think that the pushback is based on whatever it is that each particular woman struggle with. So you may have a woman that's like fit, friendly, well, fit, feminine, but may not necessarily be friendly or freaky. And, or, it's hard to get all four, just like how we've discussed before, finding men that may have all of the qualities and characteristics that we're looking for. But I think we're okay with settling with, if they get three out of the four. Whereas I think men are like making it seem that these are non-negotiables for them.
I don't know why women have pushback. I think being friendly is a character trait. Like, I think that's more of character more than you wanting to be with a man. Like, you should naturally want to be friendly with people. Like, you shouldn't want to make conflict at all times and want to be in the presence of chaos. So I find that interesting that there's a lot of women that want to cause conflict. And then we talk about toxic, people have issues with trauma and stuff. That's usually how it presents itself in anger. As far as what's the other ones? Fit, fine, freaky.
Fit,
What?
feminine,
Fit,
friendly, and we've
fit.
added freaky, depending
Because
on the man.
my knees hurt. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not even. I naturally have always been an athlete. I played basketball. I ran track. These hips and knees don't cooperate. The Meg the Stallion knees kind of go out the door after a certain age, and it becomes a little bit more difficult for me. My challenge is more so my body falling apart on me. But as far as other women, they get comfortable. You get comfortable, and people reinforce it. It's not like these women aren't getting love from men because of their size, right? Like, because they're not fit. There are people that are still out there showing that they're fine. Like, you are fine the way you are. I appreciate your size. So I think as long as it's reinforced, it's going to stay the same. Some people don't desire to go and be fit because men say it's fine.
I think for some women, if you are the size that you are, I think also too that kind of depends on your metabolism, because you have some super small women where they can eat whatever and still not really gain weight, but that's still not promoting a healthy eating
Yeah.
lifestyle. So that takes away from the fit, just because you're not gaining weight and you're putting all of the BS in your body and toxins and all of that, because it shows in your skin, it shows in your bowels, it shows in your urine, all of that shows. So regardless if you think that you look good, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're still eating properly, and that should necessarily be categorized in the fit, because we just finished talking about the definition of fit. So, but I think a lot of women are giving men so much pushback on those things is because, let's be honest, most women, they don't want a man telling them what to do. But I think we as women, if we start holding each other more accountable, maybe they'll be more inclined to accept it from us than versus a man. But I feel like if the man you with is telling you, like, you need to kind of get it together, like, let's figure out a way to get it together, especially if women are trying to figure out why they single, why you're not being chosen. Maybe it's because you're not fit, feminine, and friendly. And I also agree, I think friendly is a character trait. And I also think that, well, let me break down the fit part. Let's be honest, some women are lazy when it comes to working out. Some women are lazy, and some women also feel like, I have been guilty of that myself. When your hair is freshly done, we all know Black girls ain't trying to get their hair wet. They not trying to sweat their hair out. So I think a lot of it comes from laziness, and also you not wanting to mess up your hair. I've been guilty of that. But luckily I know how to do hair. So I can still work out and come back and wash my hair and fix it and make it look the same. But everybody don't have that talent. So I think that's when it comes to that's what happens when it comes to fit. When it comes to feminine, most women don't want a man telling her what to do, because it comes into the whole submission part. Women don't want to be submissive. And friendly, that is a character flaw if you are not a friendly person. So I think also it comes in play with their family dynamic, their home dynamic. Some of them grew up with their mama not being friendly to their daddy, so they feel like they don't have to be friendly to anybody. So at the end of the day, it's like we have to be able to hold each other accountable to start doing better. It's constructive criticism.
I think the biggest thing though too is being able is difficult to change behavior, and that's in any aspect. So like even if like when we're saying like with the fit part is, hard to change behavior if you're used to doing something a certain way all the time, and now all of a sudden it's like, okay, now I need to change. It takes more work to change the behavior than it is to just keep doing what you've been doing. And I think that goes across the board with the fit, the feminine, and the friendly. Like if you're not accustomed to being feminine, it's going to be difficult to even get in a mindset to do that. One, if you didn't have an example of what that looks like, or then two, if you've been accustomed to, let's say, how a lot of people talk about like being a boss bitch and all of that kind of stuff, to then switch from that mindset to something that's completely opposite. It is difficult, and a lot of times people they struggle with trying to create new habits, even though it is better for them. But I don't think it should be an excuse. Anything worth that's going to be a betterment to yourself is worth, going through that struggle and trying to change. It may not happen overnight, but not to quit. Like you got to keep pursuing it if you know that it's going to benefit you in the long run.
I agree with a lot of the things that y'all said too. You're a product of your environment, right? And you don't know unless you know. So I think having a platform like this and a forum like this to talk about it, to be like, you don't gotta be like that. It's not very quiet. It's not being pleasant for yourself. You really gotta dig deep. And in words of Della, it's the self-love. Like Della's not here, but her presence is really important. Like the things that she says is really true. And I can speak for myself for as an example. I grew up in a household where, there was a lot of yelling, and there's a lot of, not the best environment for communication, not the best environment for learning how to process your feelings. So as an adult, when you get there and you're processing it, it comes out certain ways. It shows itself. It comes out. You don't even know you're doing it until people bring it to your attention. So I think it's super important that we have these conversations to talk about. Like you said, we got to hold each other accountable. We have men who are doing it, and women take it very sensitively. They start to get defensive. Like, why would he say that about me? Where it's like, maybe if a woman said it, hey, maybe it should be a little bit more fit, friendly, and what was the other one? Sorry, never forget. Fit,
feminine, and friendly.